Hello, writers and readers. I'm freelance fiction editor Miranda Darrow, here with my weekly video about writing, editing, and the writing life. Every month, I review a book on the craft of writing and post my video review on this YouTube channel. And then I also have an archive of writing craft book reviews on my website at mirandadarrow.com under the Resources for Writers tabs. And you can find this one there too. This month's book is Lisa Cron's Story Genius. It's one of my very favorite books on writing craft, and I've read quite a few. It's actually Story Genius, how to use brain science to go beyond outlining and write a riveting novel before you waste 3 years writing 327 pages, go nowhere. I love that title. This book outlines a method of focusing your manuscript on a scene level toward a central conflict faced by a main character and removing anything that doesn't drive towards the goal, motivation, and conflict for that character. If there isn't a conflict, the scene's got to go. If there isn't a relationship to what she calls the third rail, see ya. I have heard Lisa Cron give an all-day presentation at the Wisconsin RWA Right Touch Conference in April of 2019. Before that, I'd listened to an audio recording of her Wired for Story, her other book on the writing craft. I consider myself a Cron groupie. I'm recruiting members, and we're calling our fan club the Cronites until someone has a catchier suggestion. So let's get on with it. Cron's definition of story is laid out in chapter 1. In a nutshell, a story is about how the things that happen affect someone in pursuit of a difficult goal and how that person changes internally as a result. Notice that this definition is character-based, not plot-based, and Cron really stresses that there should be one protagonist, at most two, and that the protagonist character growth arc drives the whole story. It's the glue that keeps readers hooked. Characters care about your character, and they want to know that he, she, they are able to achieve that pesky, difficult goal. In chapter 2, Cron bursts a bunch of writing myths about writing and explains that she doesn't view her method as pantsing or plotting, and that it's not a beat sheet, but more an organic way to follow the trajectory of the character arc and devising your story to enhance it. She's not opposed to backstory, and in fact, she recommends starting by drafting the scene in which your protagonist's past first established the lie that they believe, and also fleshing out and reinforcing incidents from their past that made them feel like the lie that they believe, their misbelief, is true. So there's like 3 different ones. It's like, where did that belief start? And 2 other times in the past, they're just like, oh yeah, that's right. But they're clinging to that lie. Your protagonist should not wander into the story without some baggage. The readers need to see enough of that baggage to understand why this change that they need to do internally is necessary and painful, and contrary to the protagonist's belief system, because they're reasonable for believing this. It's just wrong, but they're reasonable. She advocates a novel blueprint, which is a scene-by-scene progression of your external plot as driven by the internal struggle that each event triggers in your protagonist. Chapter 9 outlines a scene card, which is a tracking grid for internal and external plot goals in each scene, and noting what new problems will arise because of the action in each scene. There's an alpha point, which is the description of what happens, and the consequence. The alpha point explains the reason the scene needs to be in the book and its function for the overall story timeline. She summarizes the goal of writing these cards in chapter 12. Make sure each event causes the next one to happen in an escalating succession as things go from bad to worse. Tie each event to the internal change it triggers in your protagonist, giving a glimpse of why and how it triggers the next thing that happens. Here's my thought. This book is not particularly genre hostile or genre specific. It's not real snobby with only looking at literary examples like some of the writing craft books. There is some function on one alpha protagonist that some authors, like some romance authors, might take a little bit of issue to. But I know that I have found the case that even when I'm writing in that genre, it's usually one that is the main character. Pantsers may not want to think about all these scene cards in advance, but the cards could certainly help with revisions to get the story focused on a central conflict, even after the first draft. I do recommend Story Genius to anyone writing fiction. Tune into this YouTube channel next week, where we will dig into another genre. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Every week, I post new content on writing and editing and the writing life. This is Miranda Darrow wishing you happy writing.